7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
How's our girl?
She's ready.
You're gonna be the first person to transition from a human body to a synthetic.
Because I'm special.
That's right. You're very, very special.
We have a downed spacecraft.
I want what's on that ship.
We can do it. We're fast. We're strong. We don't break.
It's like a zoo, but the animals got out.
This ship collected 5 different life forms from the darkest corners of the universe.
Monsters. Invasive species. Predatory.
We don't lock them down, it will be too late.
What is up, people? What's going on? We are here. We are here to talk about the first 2 episodes of Alien Earth that dropped on Thursday. I got Danny and Brian the Grizzly in the house with me today. Danny, tell the people where they can find you, sir.
You can find me on my channel, The Road to Wisdoms, on Mondays and Fridays at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can find me on Nzo's channel sometime on OLC. First 3 Mondays of the month on the Chaos Central. Wednesday, I'm on Hangout, and Sundays, I'm on Storms Live. So I'm a little bit of here, a little bit there, a little bit everywhere.
Yes, sir. And then my other partner in crime, Brian the Grizzly, does the breakdowns with me all the time. Brian, tell the people where they can find you, sir.
But Monday, Thursday, Saturdays, we are Spoiler Kings, doing all those things. And I'm with Nzo probably on Tuesdays, Tuesday, maybe even Fridays. I mean, this is what we're gonna do.
Someone wants to be a part of the show. Look at that.
I'm like, really? Come on, really? You're gonna wait till I'm talking to do this?
Oh shit. That is correct, guys. So we're gonna be breaking down a lot of these shows, you know what I mean? So I hope you guys enjoy it, check it out. What's up, Austinator? How you doing? Thanks for popping in. Like I said, we are here to talk about the first 2 episodes of Alien Earth. And first off, let me get you guys overall thoughts of the first 2 episodes. Go ahead, Danny.
I was pleasantly surprised. The first one was a little bit slow at the beginning, but I wasn't like bored out of my mind. And then it picked up. I'm really intrigued with how they're transferring these the conscious into these synthezoids or whatever you want to call them.
Synthetics.
Mm-hmm. But it seems like whatever that black guy is, he seems to be stronger and smarter than. So I don't know whether, because it seems like their version.
He's the cyborg.
Yep,
you got to be young girls. I mean, young children,
young kids.
Then a cyborg, I guess you're gonna be adult. I still ain't quite figure out what Timothy Oliphant is. Is he one of them too?
I think he's okay. So they have the hybrids; they're considered synthetic.
The kids are hybrids.
Yeah. He's an actual synthetic. Actually, like, so the androids that they had in like the first movie and the second movie, like Bishop and all of that, that's what he is.
Yep.
Yeah. So he's just an artificial intelligence. The kids are actually their minds in the synthetic bodies.
Exactly. So they're hybrids.
Yeah.
The human minds being put into one of these synthetic bodies. So they're hybrids.
Yeah. So there's the hybrids, the synthetics, and the cyborgs. Brian, what were your thoughts?
Man, that first half an hour was hard to watch. Mm-hmm. I was going in and out because they're trying to give us all this explanation and stuff like that, and I don't think they did a great job with the development of the characters. Or I didn't care about, like, I care that this girl has a disease and he's going to this new body, but it wasn't explained well enough. I didn't understand what the hell was really going on, and you had to figure it out through context clues. The first half an hour was hard. All right. Mm-hmm. The second half an hour was great. All right. Mm-hmm. So I was enjoying the action that was going on, them going through the ships, understanding why they're doing it.
The only one I care about is Wendy. Anybody else?
I don't know if I even care about Wendy specifically. Like
I care about Wendy.
I think
reminds me of the girl on Alita Battle Angel.
Oh,
Okay.
Alita. Okay,
Yeah,
I understand. I get you.
I can see that.
I think Morrow was more interesting to me because he seemed like a real true black bad guy. Yeah, I enjoyed seeing. Dude, he was an ass when he sealed the door.
Yeah, he's like the only thing that matters.
She's not going to. He walked over there. Yeah, she's getting. I was like, that is bogus. But I think that whole second part of the episode was really good. Remind me more of Alien, and that type of genre. But the second episode was amazing.
If I was that crew, I'd be mad.
You wouldn't be mad because you'd be dead.
They just wasted.
I mean, okay, we're gonna get into that, Danny. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. I know what you're saying because when I watched it back again, I thought the same thing. So we're gonna get into that because I think we're gonna get a flashback to what happened on that ship.
Yeah,
right.
We definitely
I think we're gonna get a flashback. Now, my issue, and I liked it. I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. Right. I'm not gonna say it was excellent like everybody else is saying because I agree with you. The first half an hour was like, ugh, you know what I mean? Kind of was. Took a long time to get there, but when it gets there, it gets there. My only main issue is, like I said to Earl and I said to you guys, is that I wish they weren't 9 and 10 and 12-year-old kids. You know what I mean? I think for the story, because they explained it in the story, and I get
perfect sense in the story.
Right,
perfect.
Right, 100%. But you could have did the same explanation and upped them to 16 or 18. You know what I mean? You still could have said that, right? I just feel like with them being that young,
different than the other girl. She got
Wendy was 12.
I think she got some action with the rest of them. Got.
Yeah. She got because they call her special too.
She seemed more mature. But that little boy, the smart boy, he get on my nerves. I don't like him. I'm ready for him to die.
That's what I'm saying. Like you still could have had these funny moments, but we'll get into that. So, but again, I thought it was pretty decent. One thing I'll say is it felt like a movie. You know what I mean? It felt like episodes felt like movies, and I enjoyed that, right? So we get the first start off, and here's what Danny was talking about. We get the crew, right? So the crew wakes up from cryo, and they're talking about the cargo and everything in the ship, and we have this man, he's telling them the cargo is, that's it. You know what I mean? And he showed his dominance right from the start, like to show like I'm the one in charge here. You know?
It seemed like they were scared of him, so they know he's a cyborg, and they know that if he decides you're gonna die, there's no one on this ship that's gonna be able to stop him.
So I thought they referred to the other guys as captain, but the captain didn't hardly say nothing.
Exactly. He was the one that was more in charge than the captain, right? Because he says, I'll restrict you to your quarters. You know, do I have to do that? Do I have to add extra security on there? You know,
he's a security officer. He's head of security. Exactly.
Well, why does he need to sleep if he's a cyborg? That don't make sense to me.
That's a good question.
I think that he has organic material around him.
Because you said
inside of him is a robot, but he has organic material around him. He does need to sleep. He does need to rest and stuff like that because it can weigh on you.
To sleep.
I mean, it's insane.
If he's a cyborg, then that means he has a lot of human parts, right? Right? Because he's not completely robot. He's not completely human. So I think that's why he needs to sleep. His heart is probably human. You know what I mean?
I think all his major organs are robotic. I think that's what they said. His major organs are robotic, but but he's still like Cyborg. Like we were talking about in DC. His major organs are this, but he's still human. He still has like a human brain. He still has all those things. But part of it could be still computer because he's tapping into his computer type, his computer brain on one side. I'll think half and half.
I know one thing: he ain't got no fear.
That's
I don't think he got no feelings either.
That's for sure. So this scene here is pretty much to show the dominance that he has and the crew and the creatures that they have. Now, I'll say this right at the start. I seem more interested in some of the other creatures they had on the ship
100%.
than the actual xenomorph, to be
The
honest.
thing with the eye, I don't know what that was.
Yeah, exactly. And even these little bugs, right? Because you could see that they're taking over they're taking the blood from the rats and stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool. But what did you guys think of the opening? Did you think it set a good tone, or
I was starting to get invested with the dynamic of the cruise, but then next thing we see, it kind of goes the hell on a handbasket, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was already seen, I said, well, there's going to be conflict between the cyborg and that white guy, because they kind of stare each other off. I said that could be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And the female element, that seemed like there was a love interest with one of the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I was getting kind of invested in trying to learn them and see the different dynamics, but that didn't happen.
And then you had the Asian guy, right, who kept looking at the girl, right? He kept looking at the girl and was trying to find out why he's doing that. And those are the things that had me saying, okay, we're probably going to get a flashback to what happened on the ship. But I think this episode would have played a lot better if they cut down the introduction to the synthoids and showed us a little bit more of what happened on the ship. You know what I mean? I think that would have been interesting. And then you could flash back as to how it started or why it happened. Like, I think if you would have added that, you know, the xenomorph running around killing some of the ship members more.
They kind of hit it to it because they were saying like they were burning too much fuel.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some indicators that, okay, this ain't going smooth like it should. And didn't it take them, what, 65 years to make that travel? That's why
that's why they were asleep.
They had to wake up every so many few days, I guess, to eat or whatever.
Yeah. And then they had 4 months left to get to Earth. From when they wake up at this point, they say they're on their way back to Earth in 4 months. So they go back.
Means
to
they're right
sleep.
outside Jupiter, probably. That's what it sounds like. We're outside Jupiter.
And ship pops off when they go back to sleep. And then next thing you know, we get the flashback as to, but yeah.
I was thinking that the Hispanic guy was the synthenoid, because like he didn't have to go to sleep. He was the one that was waking up, kind of taking care of the ship and taking care of them. That's what I got.
I thought the whole first part only was about the idea that the xenomorph that's going to come out is not the most dangerous thing on the ship.
Ooh,
that's the whole point, and they were kind of disguising it.
Yes, something else. Because them things hanging from the ceilings.
Mm-hmm. There's things that are way more different, way more important, way more scary than the xenomorph.
Yeah.
So like in the xenomorph we didn't have here. This is before Alien, the first one. This is before.
I'm curious to see what them paws hanging from the ceiling, because we ain't never seen.
We're gonna find out, Danny. I think we're gonna find out.
And what made me mad too, that fool, her brother, gonna go through the force field. Then he gonna be looking down at the egg. Yeah.
Are you
not an idiot?
There were a few things in that second episode that pissed me off, Daddy. So we're gonna get into that too, because that was one of them. There was another part with the party. You know what I mean? That annoyed me too. You know, so there's a few things in there that really annoyed me too. But so we move away from the ship. We see them going back into their sleep, and then we start to get, you know, the synthetic part of the story. So we learn about Wendy and everything that she goes through. And I'm just gonna skip through this because we can talk about it, but really there's
not. I'm kind of interested in O'Boy character too, Timothy Olyphant.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. I like his character too. And I think
Kirsch is gonna be something. Kirsch is gonna be a problem.
When he meets up with the xenomorph for the first time, I think that's gonna be very interesting. But what did you guys think about Wendy's backstory and how she hands her and what they do with the kids? Let's get what you guys thought about that. Go ahead, Brian.
I actually thought that it was unnecessary. I thought that if you would have just told me from the beginning, hey, she has cancer, this is what's going on, her brother is this character, and we're going to push her into his new body immediately, and then explain more about this body, about these now hybrids. I felt like I didn't know enough about what's going on with the hybrids and too much of talking about before, because the before means nothing in this story. Because once the mind is gone, it's just a husk, you know. So like, why did I spend 15 minutes talking about that instead of just getting right into the idea when she gets into the body, the hybrid, and now how she's gonna have these emotional problems trying to deal with it. You know, the reason they went with a kid is because they're pliable, they're able to adjust easily. Let's get to that part, because I feel like there's too much on other things that did not matter anymore.
I got you. And that's a good point, because they talk, that's the scene where they're talking about this now, right? They're talking about her, you know, her body is just her consciences. So things that, and especially when, and I think that's a good aspect to kind of get into too, right? Because when you're a human body, you got to eat, you got to pee, you got to do all of these things. And they made a little comment later where she's like, oh, I miss eating or something like that, right? Where she says she misses that. And I think that's a good concept to get into too, right? Like, how is her consciousness going to age now that it's not in a human body and stuff like that? So I thought that was very interesting concept to get into. What do you think, Danny?
She didn't like the human body. She was like, what are these things? These breasts are
yeah,
they're moving when I run and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
They should have been a little bit older, because it's going to take time. And I guess it's going to be kind of like Claudia on.
Interview with the Vampire.
Yeah. So maybe as she get older, she'll get more mature or whatever. But I don't know.
You see, I think that because, and you see her doing things that, you know, we haven't seen anyone else do yet. Like, she's tapping the screen, she's, you know, writing code, getting into security and stuff like that. So I think with the fact that she has that ability, she may be more adult wise than the other ones. You know what I mean? She may learn a lot faster. She may grow a lot faster, right?
We see her brother, right, and being a doctor and doing all these things, and he's intuitive and stuff like that. That kind of gives you an idea that she's that same way, that she was raised that way. Also very intuitive and able to figure out a lot of things. I think that was the whole thing. That's why she's able to pick up on things quickly.
Yeah, I agree. Danny, go ahead. You were saying?
I think it's kind of like a little bit of the ghost in the machine. They think they could purge everything out, but they're not going to be able to purge, because they're steady watching her, and she's steady watching and following her brother. So the transformation doesn't clearly purge your thoughts and your emotions. But I think they're trying to get rid of the emotions, but I don't think they can do it, because I think that there was a conversation they were saying something about she don't have the pheromones, or she don't have this chemical.
We're not going to give you the hormones.
Yeah, but I still think that the consciousness still something in there they can't completely purge out. So I think it's going to be kind of like a ghost in the machine kind of thing that's going to cause her to kind of go rogue, I believe.
I agree. And yeah, go ahead.
Then do you think that they went with these preteens because the boy Cavalier is that same, like, he sees that, you know, their age, and that's the reason why they're kind of trying to keep them the same age, because there are going to be problems as we go further along in the series with the boy Cavalier and then them?
It could be, because there is one scene where he asks her, can you take orders? Right? She's like, yes, sir. So he may feel like they're easier to control at that age. You know, they won't ask questions. They're not that smart enough to ask what's actually really going on. So yeah, I think that could be a possibility. What do you think?
I think he is testing these people, testing those kids, because he's gonna get to a certain age and he's gonna want to transfer his consciousness. But I guess he's kind of working out all the bugs and make sure that whenever he does, it's gonna be the perfect body, the perfect this, that, and the other. Because you made that comment to the lady about, I want to talk to somebody that's smarter than me and this kind of stuff. So I think this is a big experiment
for eternal life.
Yeah, trial and error.
Yeah.
And then once he finds whatever he's looking for, then he's going to transfer his consciousness into one of them bodies and live forever.
I like that.
I agree. What's up, Basil? What do you think of him, though? This character?
You get on my nerves.
But again, I think that's exactly what he's meant to do, right?
Yep.
Is to be that type of person, you know.
Yeah.
So
The smartest person in the room syndrome.
Yeah.
He got that down to a science. Yeah, I did kind of like the conversation between him and the Asian lady. That was kind of intriguing.
Where they were talking about the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, we don't want to do that. That'd be an act of aggression.
War,
that's
yeah.
what we got attorneys for. And I'm like, yep, I see that every day, buddy.
So we get the backstory of Wendy and the crew. I really don't know the rest of their names, to be honest with you.
I don't either. They're not important.
That's the problem.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And do you guys think? Yeah, go ahead.
I did like how they had Wendy the transition for the first guy, and then you see the second, her and Wendy the second guy for the next one. And I did like that.
Yeah.
That was
The transition stuff was good too.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, do you think any of them die?
Oh yeah.
And if so, can they die?
Yeah, I don't know if they can.
I think their body might can be damaged, but I think it can be repaired.
Yeah, I think
so too.
Something could take over for it overall. Yeah. That's what it is.
Can you really kill a spirit or your conscience? I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think they can die unless maybe if they're like all their organs internally and everything shuts down, then it kills the conscious at the same time. That's a possibility. I don't know, but I think we'll find out that, you know. I think Disney retconned Prometheus and Covenant. Yeah, they probably did.
It'd be curious to see one of them facehuggers get one of them. See what happens when they bust out the chest. Does that kill them or not?
Oh yeah,
that's what I mean. I think they can be transitioned. I think besides that, the body itself will be stuff regenerating.
That would be definitely interesting. But now we cut back to what's going on the ship, and we see this guy, and he's in a room, and he's talking to Mother, and you know, someone bangs on the door and is like, "I need help. Open up the door," and he's like, "Nope." He locks it.
I think he's talking to the Asian lady.
Oh yeah, could be. Now that you say it, could be.
I think he's working for the Asian lady.
100%.
What did he call her, mother or something like that? It was like
mother. Yeah, he called her mother. Yeah, I do agree with you. I think it is the Asian lady, Danny, because she wanted the ship. The ship is for her, right? The creatures on the ship are for her. So yeah, 100%. She's talking.
Some kind of way she figured out what was out there. That's why she sent him out there. And that's why he keeps saying the most important thing is the cargo. That is the mission.
Yeah.
I guarantee you they're going to come back and experiment and try to outdo the little genius boy. And that's why he told that older guy, I want what's on that ship. Because now he's going to try and steal it and do whatever he can do.
Yeah, he wants what's on the ship too, 100%. The crew were on a 65-year mission from 2120 that goes back to 2055. Weyland-Yutani didn't even merge yet. What's up, Mr. Dub? Thank you for popping in. Much appreciated. Absolutely. Interesting.
Because Yutani is the one that we're talking about right now. So
yeah,
Weyland-Yutani didn't even merge yet. That's really interesting.
So we see him now. This is where we find out like he's a cyborg. I would play some of these clips, guys, but I don't know if Disney will do the same thing as them and cut the stream or copyright claim it or block it. So I'll just show the screenshots. But we get to see his arm, and his arm turns like kind of metal, and then he goes and he locks the door and goes back to the computer, and then he writes, "Everybody, all the crew members are dead."
Officially.
Right?
Now they are
officially dead. Yes. So, and then he goes into this container, hides, and the ship crashes. Do you think it was always the plan to kill the crew members?
Yes.
Me too.
Because it gets rid of all the evidence. You can then take the most important thing is the all the stuff, all the things. They don't care about the crew. They don't matter at all. And getting rid of them now is the easiest way to not to worry about it, and not just bring the product to Mother. So that's what the whole point was.
And you know what? Which is great that this show is before the first Alien, right? Because I'm guessing, they're gonna depending on how many seasons there or whatever. It has to end with them not getting the creatures on Earth. They kill them all or whatever, and that's why they keep going back into space trying to get this alien, right? Because this is their first experience with it, and they see how powerful it is, and it's like, oh, we can do something with that. So that's why they keep going on these expositions and they keep tricking everybody, like, yeah, no, we're going to kill them, but they're actually going to get the alien. So it kind of makes sense. It ties in. I kind of like that. What are your thoughts, Danny?
I agree with you. I'm not sure. Say the last part again, so I can feed off you again.
I was saying that I think that when it comes to the Alien franchise, right? They're showing this stuff here. They're coming to Earth, right? It has to end with the aliens on Earth all being destroyed, right? Because then it does make sense for the expositions that they do in the other movies to go and find the aliens, right? Because regardless of what they say the mission was always to get one of those aliens and bring back to Earth. And I think this is their first experience with it, and they realize how powerful it is. And it's like, you know what? We need to get one of these aliens. So I think it ties in great with the first two Alien movies.
I agree with that 100%.
You know, so yeah. So
you're saying that because
go ahead.
Now, everything you say is totally possible. But did you not notice when the alien, you're about to get to the scene, the drooled on the cyborg, it wasn't acid.
Well, I know you guys said that, but the drool was never acid, though, right? Even in the first couple of Aliens, they're always drooling, right? The acid only comes out when they get shot or hurt. Yeah. Or they can spit it out. Yeah. Because if you go back to the original, even in the trailer where they're face to face, not the trailer, but the poster, face to face with Sigourney Weaver, it's drooling. You know what I mean? So they always have that drool. They've always had that drool that comes out.
Because it's the blood that's the acidic. That's hydrochloric acid, whatever.
Yeah, it's their blood. It's their blood. Now, what did you think of the look of the alien? Because I kind of said the first glimpse of it when they show it, I'm like, kind of looks robotic-y. I don't know. What did you think? Go ahead, Danny.
It looks like a little small. You remember that time when they had the one that assimilate the dog and it looked more doggish, feral looking or something? Those one look more like that to me. Like it had some kind of animal instead of human. Like we didn't set up on the twos like some like the human. This one like running around more on fours like an animal or something. To me, that looked a little bit different. But it looked the same to me, but that was what I noticed. Like it's running on all fours. So that's the first vibe I got when I saw it. But we don't know what they actually. Because we never see the face huggers in that part of the transition. All we see is xenomorphs wrecking havoc
right away. Yeah, we don't see who it caught on to, right? What do you think, Brian?
The head looks very much like it does. I'm expecting it to look. The body looks very human-like. A lot more than I was expecting it to look. Even like it looked like almost like you could put on a mask or a suit to look like one of these xenomorphs. It wasn't as complex as I thought it was before in all the other movies.
I got you. So next couple of scenes, we see the spaceship crashing to Earth. But before we do that, as called New Some Prodigy City, we get the new group and we get Wendy's brother, right? So we see her that she's actually watching everything he does and she still cares about him. And that's one of the things I wanted to say too, right? Because they talked about the emotions, but I think Wendy still has emotions. She still cares for her brother, right? She still has feelings, even though it's just her consciousness in there. So I think that's one of the things they're probably going to explore. It's like, she even lied. Like she didn't really tell them that she was going for her brother. You know what I mean? She's like, oh, we can help. But in her mind, her whole objective was to save her brother. So I do think that even though her consciousness is still has been transferred, she still has feelings. She still may feel love. You know what I mean? Anger and hate. So that's going to be very interesting to go up against. Go ahead, Brian.
I didn't know that they were saying there's no feelings. I thought that they were saying they're trying to eliminate the feelings, but they could not necessarily do that. The problem is now when she grows up, because they're preteens, and the mind needs the adolescence. It needs that chance to go from child to adult, and they could put the chemicals in it to make it happen, but they don't know if it'll actually happen just naturally. And when she one day catch up with her body, her mind catch up with her body, they don't know.
And we find, go ahead.
No, I was just to say, so that's going to be interesting because her actions weren't of a 12-year-old. Her actions were more of a 18, 19-year-old. Like she's ready to go fight and do these things, not of this little girl. Even if she loves her brother, it didn't seem like it was a little girl doing these actions.
Agreed. Not to mention that when she grabs the sword, puts on there, you know what I mean? Like she's like, okay, I got weapons and stuff like that, right?
It was a makeshift sword with you.
It was a makeshift sword, but it still feels more like she's more of like an 18-year-old understanding that I'm gonna need some sort of weapon, So very interesting take on that too. We also find out that she has a little bit of powers. Do you think they all gonna find out that they have some sort of power, or is it just her? Danny?
I think it's just her.
Think it's just her? What about you, Brian?
I think he
go ahead.
So he said something about artificial intelligence, but something in there. I can't remember his exact word, but he said, but the little smart guy said something, rich guy. So I think he is the first one they did something different with her. And I think they kind of just had the other kids more or less kind of keep her company. But we always see them watching her. I don't see them watching anybody else. So I think he's the pet project.
I agree. What do you think, Brian?
I think that she's the most complex. I mean, she might be the oldest of all of them, a little bit further along in the maturity level. I think all of them will have some type of power, some type of something that's going to make them special. That's going to allow them to fight against the xenomorphs.
Interesting, because
make them a military type of life. They could be something that could go out and just go kill things, because they're still looking for power. That's the whole point of looking for these xenomorphs right now in space, because they need someone who's going to go out there and fight these things and be the next level of evolution for power.
And it's funny too, because that you said that, and I hope they do that too, because I found at a couple points in episode 2, it felt like they didn't even know like they could run fast, they could jump or anything like that. You know what I mean? It felt like they didn't even know that. And they've been with her for a while before they actually went to the ship. Right? I guess we don't know how much time has passed, but I'm assuming enough time for her to say, hey guys, we can run fast. Hey, we can jump. We can do this. You know what I mean? And it felt like they didn't even know that yet. So that's kind of interesting to see if they do that, But now we get to the good stuff where they decide they're going to go and rescue the xenomorphs, and they go into the ship, and man, I'd have been like, you know what? I'm gonna guard the door here. All right. I'm gonna guard the door. I'm not gonna let anybody come in or get out, but I'm gonna stay right here, guys. What about you, Danny? You going in that ship?
I ain't even guarding the door. I'm guarding the ship.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The outside the ship, not inside.
I'm guarding the ship that brought me there. That's what I'm talking about.
I got you.
I'm not going on to the other ship.
Very interesting. So they get in here, and now we start to see the damage that is going on.
To me, that don't make sense. You're not sending 2 people to search and rescue. You're sending a whole team. I didn't
unless they know how to work with each other. They're actually going around.
I need about 10. I need about 10 people.
Well, wasn't there a whole team?
Well, I see those 2 and her brother.
I think they split up.
Yeah, because they show them when the ship is crashing, right? So you have the black girl, you have this guy, you have the 2 guys that died with so they had like a whole crew. Hold on, let me see when they show the roof. Because when they show the roof, you actually get to see the crew. Yeah, so you have all of these guys here on the roof, So that was the whole crew that went over to the alien ship. But I knew that a lot of them were going to be expendable. You know what I mean? You know that a lot of these crews are going to die.
I think there's a find.
Right? So right now you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, about 5 people.
5 or 6 people.
You had about 10 people, Danny. You had about 10 people up in there.
All I saw was the brother and those two or three.
Yeah, because everybody.
The ones that got handcuffed later, we saw that. And then we saw 2 other ones going with the brother. And then there's 2 other ones later in the rest of the ship. So there has to be some. All I know is my blackness wouldn't allow me to go ahead and do that. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. 100%. So we see them looking around the ship. He gets up, and then this is when Wendy says she can go, her and her crew can go. And I was like, I get it, right? I know they're going to go in there, but that's where I started saying I wish they were a little bit older, because now you're going to have a lot of these comic kid moments when they get into trouble. You know what I mean? Like they're going to be running and screaming, and stuff like that. And I don't want to see that. You know what I mean? So hopefully they don't keep it to because they already did the scene with the eyeball, so I hope we don't get too much more of that. But what are your thoughts about them actually going into that, Brian?
Well, I would be doing the same thing. Like they could have had a big 40-year-old man being in there. I would saw one of those xenomorphs I've been running around.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. Me too.
I just think for a team, they're obviously a team that have done a lot of missions. They didn't seem very polished. So for them to send them to something that just fell on Earth seemed very bad planning. Like, why would you do that? But I do like the fact that Wendy was ready to go, and the fact that Hirsch said, "All right, well, if you're going to send them, let's go. I'll take them." And it was no fighting, even though the boy Cavalier was doing it, seemed like stupid reasons or without even thinking, being thoughtful. They still kind of went about it. Hirsch was like, "All right, let's go." Wendy's like, "All right, I'm about to," and none of the kids are like, "Wow," complained. They just went.
Yeah. And that's what I like too. Like there was no argument. Oh no, I can't do this. Or they all just went. They did their job, right? And I get that. I just hope that they keep the little kiddie humor to a minimum. But it's understandable. Now we get him, the cyborg. What's his name? What's the cyborg's name?
Morrow.
And he grabs 2 of the people who are supposed to rescue, and they're like, no, we're here to help. And he's like, he don't care. He chains them up, and then we see.
What did you think when you first saw that thing?
The creature?
Yeah, because they've dropped before Morrow even tied him up.
Yeah. I knew it was gonna suck his blood. I knew it. I said, because when I watched the first scene where she puts the rat in, I paid attention. I seen it connect to the rat, so I'm like, oh,
about the worms or that eye thing.
The bag blood, the bug that's full. The blood of a bag of blood. Once they suck it up, it's like a leech.
But you see, that's the thing. I hope it turns into something else after that. You know what I mean? Because when it sucked the blood, it showed this big blobbing thing, and I was like, oh. And like I said earlier, I was kind of more invested in the eye and that creature. And in the trailer, they say there's 5, right? So we only seen the xenomorph, we seen the creature blood, those creatures, we seen the eye, and we seen the thing in the sky. There's one more we haven't seen yet.
I think that thing that's hanging from the ceilings is going to be a problem.
Yeah, me too. 100%.
It's going to be a serious problem.
Yeah. So what did you think when they showed that they have more than 1 creatures, Danny?
That they need to be sending an SOS to the predators. Help! That's what I'm thinking. Them see the only things that can take care of that thing. Man, I ain't seen nothing. The eye thing like a problem. I'm glad. Can you imagine it was a whole army of them things? It's just one.
Facts.
Could you imagine it was like 15 or 20?
It's time to leave. It's time to leave. I need to be on the other side of the earth.
On the other side of the galaxy.
And I think there probably is more than 1 in there too. You know what I mean? So that's I like the fact that they had different creatures in there and made it a lot more interesting too, right? Because usually you have these movies and it's just the alien, but now you have other things you got to deal with. And I think, like Brian and you guys say, that some of them are going to be a problem, but I think it's going to show how much more of a problem the xenomorph is. You know what I mean? So that's.
I'm trying to see how the xenomorph even came, because didn't they have like that blue force field over the eggs? Unless they had those two that was inside those canisters get out.
It was the two that were inside the canisters, I believe, because one of them does a shake, and then when they check their bodies, you could see the holes in their chest where it came out. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I counted 2, but there could have been at least 3 or 4 bodies that had a creature that come out of it.
Yeah, I counted 2 in the canister. It was about 5 to 7 of those eggs.
Yeah, I think like 6 or 7 eggs.
But the eggs were in that force field until that fool went there and broke it and cut it off.
Yeah. The eggs haven't actually hatched yet, so that's good, right? And that's why when he sees them, he's like, "No, we got to get these eggs out of here," right? I'm just trying to go back to the part because I believe, which means if we see 3 bodies with holes in their chest, that means there's three xenomorphs running around there. So there's more than one.
Unless these other things also are body snatchers and use.
Well, we know one is captured. Well, I think the eyes is because the eye can reanimate a body because it was inside that cat. And when it left the cat fell dead. So I think of that thing, and Lucky was trying to go for the sensored eye when he headed up his hands and stuff. Like the tentacles was trying to go for the face or something. So I think if that eye get plugged into your body, it can reanimate you too.
Imagine the eye gets on one of the xenomorphs or something like that, and we get.
That's what I was going to say. I think the xenomorph is not what it is when we get to Alien. I think that it's going to adapt and somehow it's going to get off this planet, and it's going to spread all their stuff out there, and they're going to all adapt and have it be much more of a problem. Their problem now, they're going to be much more of a problem, as we've already seen in the other movies. This is the beginning of how they get to that point.
So you're saying they evolve into something more dangerous?
Because what do? The xenomorphs combine with your DNA and they become a new DNA. But their base DNA is still human. We already know why, right? So, but I think they evolve every single time they do this.
Because you remember that one time when they laid the dog. That xenomorph dog was different. It had like the dog characteristics. I think whatever it lays the eggs in, it takes on that particular animal person's characteristics. So some are going to look more upright like humans. I think some, let's say for instance, I think if it was to do it, lay the egg inside an animal, then inside a lion or something, or imagine an alligator or something, that xenomorph is going to be something rough.
And you know what's funny too? Now imagine the eye or one of these creatures like kind of combines with the xenomorph, and then it makes eggs as it's combined with it, which would give it a different type of xenomorph when it comes out, right? So that would be interesting.
How many episodes in this show?
8.
And they come out every Tuesday night?
It was a Tuesday or Wednesday? No, Thursday. Every Thursday. Yeah. We got 8. But the next episodes is going to be like one every week.
One at a time.
Yeah. So now we get the creatures, and the creature starts to suck this guy's blood. And man, I don't know. I would have to find some sort of way to get out of that. You know what I mean? But it sucks his blood. It kills him. Then we get to Wendy and the crew, and they're going to the ship. And she tells the guy her secret that she's going for the brother. Now, the one thing I did like, and good that I paused it on this, the way they showed kind of her face, and you could see she's flashbacking or seeing something else or something else going on, how it like transitions to the screen. I like when they did that. I thought that was,
did you think that she has a connection?
It was a lot of foreshadowing.
Yeah.
But Danny, you don't think that she closes her eyes and maybe she could see her brother with even out the rest of the cameras and all that other stuff?
She could see something.
She's connected with him somehow.
Yep.
I could see that.
'Cause it was like, you remember when she was watching, one side of the TV was him grown up, then the other side of the TV watching the same thing was like her and him when they were children.
Mm-hmm.
So and then I think one side was like some some Asian kids or something. So I'm not quite sure what that is. Like she got some kind of clairvoyance or something.
Mm-hmm.
But she's special. I don't know what they haven't revealed that yet, but I think she's gonna be like the only thing that can handle these doggone creatures, whatever they are.
100%. And then we get the little speech where he's telling her that, you know, humans have always been food. And
that's a cold line. Yeah.
Facts. And then he said, you guys actually did enough so that you're not food. You know what I mean? You learned how to use weapons and hunt and do all of that stuff. And she pretty much telling him that your brother's going to die sooner or later. And she's saying, no, I'm going to save him. Now, what I'm thinking is, because when he says she's going to die, right? He says she old age, disease, you know, whatever. She says, no, I think she may know how to put his consciousness in a synthetic as an adult, right?
I think she's evolving.
Figured that out.
She's evolving, and I think that's what little rich trillionaire kid is banking on. Because I don't know whether I think he might be a little bit past the age where he can successfully do that.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of putting his eggs in her basket, so to speak, to see whether or not she can. Because he says he just want to have a conversation with somebody he thinks just as smart as him. And my thing is, if he can do that, why is he not doing it for himself? So there's some reason why he can't do it now.
Maybe he's too old.
And I believe that he's putting everything he got into her to see whether or not she can figure out the riddle of the Sphinx, so to speak.
And I agree with you too, Danny, because like here she says she's gonna save him, but she says he's not gonna die, which to me makes it seem like ever. Right? No, he's never going to die. And the reason why is because I know how to do this for adults. I know how to do it so that we can transfer adult consciousness into a synthoid instead of just using kids.
I didn't quite get that from that conversation, but it could be because what's Timothy Oliphant name in this show?
Kirsch.
Kirsch kind of smiled when he said that. So I think Kirsch know more. I think he knows something too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what exactly he knows. I think he might be a synthoid and a cyborg. Something. They're holding a lot of secrets about him.
Absolutely.
And all I can see is the doggone Agent 47. That's all I can see.
Yeah, I forgot he was Agent 47. That's right. Well, yeah. But he's a good actor, man. He's doing a good job as a synthoid. I think he's killing it. So the episode 1 ends on his face because it looks like he's contemplating on what she was telling him.
Oh, that's
you know what I mean?
Yeah, with the earth on the alien's forehead.
Yeah.
That was smooth. I get that.
Yeah. So we get to episode 2, and episode 2 starts off. Well, if I can get it to go over there. Show them back on the ship, and did she get her brother yet? No, she didn't get him yet. No, they're just doing their rescue attempts, right? What did you guys think about the conversation that she has with him, the billionaire guy? Because they're talking about
the older lady.
Yeah.
Is that his mom?
I don't think so.
Or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think so. At least if they did call it mom, I didn't miss it, you know.
Yeah, he got that arrogance about him there, and that's he kind of shows a little bit of respect because she's like, well, what am I, kind of chopped liver? And he's like, yeah, I'm not saying you're not intelligent, but I want to speak to somebody that I can actually learn something from. I think his IQ has done surpassed everybody else.
Most people. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he definitely is the smartest thing out there.
And he's also basically explaining, like, you know, that the 5 powers, they're all trying to, you know, get more power so that they can pretty much control the earth, right? Mm-hmm. So it's pretty much a race to see whose technology will win, right? Who has the bidding war. That's why he has the synthetics, you have the cyborgs, and then you have the hybrids, right? So now my question is, we haven't seen hybrids in anything going forward, like in movies or whatever. So you think he loses this race, right? For some reason, his
Or they
technology
leave or
doesn't
something like
work or
that.
something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because at the
something
end
like
of the day, they're gonna have to. They can't. They're gonna have to explain why we never seen them in later movies. You know what I mean? And I'm guessing the only way they could do that is by maybe them thinking his technology or whatever doesn't work. He goes bankrupt or whatever. They cut down the program, and then it's only because we really only see the synthetics going forward. So it looks like Waylon takes over and wins and probably beats everyone.
Probably because he dies. Is it possible that Ripley is actually a hybrid? Do we remember she dies and then comes back, and then she's actually a hybrid by the time we get to like 3? I mean, dealing with the queen.
Possible. I think that guy there is sick.
You think he's sick?
Mm-hmm.
They said he's 16 and became this giant, right? This tech giant, and he built this entire company in his little 16 years. I think he's past the time with the technology going into one of these bodies, but that's why he's trying to figure out a way to get there now.
I think
you're right. He's probably sick.
He probably got some kind of tumor or something you can't see physically, and he's trying to buy this time.
Yeah, exactly. Because look, even in this, she says, otherwise, all we've done is make consumers immortal. That's his plan. He wants to be immortal, but because he's too old, he can't do his consciousness into a synthetic, right? Now, if you get a synthetic like her, because they keep calling her special, so maybe she is special, and she is the one that's going to figure out how to get adult consciousness into synthetics.
She's gonna break the code.
Yeah,
she is this franchise Lucy.
Agreed. Because even when she does some of the stuff she did, like when she tapped in the computer and coding, it's like we never taught her that, so she's evolving already. So that's interesting.
Is it possible that her brother gets hurt and she needs to evolve it for him, and then they use that technology that she creates for her brother for him, for Cavalier?
100%.
Because he's eating, so he's still human. So we know that at least.
Yeah.
But I think he is trying to break
become immortal, right? You think he wants to become immortal?
Because he figured the process out after he was too late. So now he's trying to figure out how to get to the next. I guess rewrite what you call it.
The
program,
code,
I guess. The code, whatever.
The programming. Yeah. I think she'll figure out how to write it so that they can save her brother. You know what I mean? Which is going to be exactly what he wants. You know what I mean? And he may end up finding out that she's the one he wants to have a conversation with, right? She's the intelligent one. She ends up becoming more intelligent, or if not just as intelligent as him. Because if he couldn't figure out the code and she does, what does that say? So that's very interesting. So she tells her little. Yeah, go ahead.
I wonder if, like, alien. So let's say the xenomorph starts to take over, even takes over Cavalier, his body and that stuff, and it gets outlawed bringing any of these alien technologies to Earth.
I can see
because
that.
of what happens out here. And that's how we get to the beginning of Alien. That's why it's in space. That's what all this stuff is going on, because you can't bring it to Earth because they're afraid that it was going to take over the planet.
I can see that. They definitely have to do some sort of explanation as to why we haven't seen hybrids, right? Or maybe they'll say that, like you said, Ripley was a hybrid. You know what I mean? And we just never.
All of Earth becomes a hybrid because that's the next layer of advancement for all humans. Everyone becomes hybrids, but the reason they're in space, the people in space that can't afford it, they're the ones going out and mining these things that you can't bring it back to Earth.
Yeah, makes sense. I can see that. Now we get to the crew and they're about to. Now, first off, that was a big jump, but I'm like, okay, whatever. But Wendy's brother looks up because he sees some drooling, and we get a glimpse of the xenomorph coming to attack. Oh shit! Wow, it goes by so quick.
It does.
You know, let me just play it real quick. Now, this scene was tight. I can't even lie. I was like, ooh. I would have jumped just as quick as he did, bro. I was gone, right? But when the xenomorph chases after him, and just as he's about to, it just swipes and misses him. I thought that was absolutely amazing. What do you think of that scene, Danny?
Yeah, the action scenes are good. The xenomorphs. The other scene too, like when that guy sprayed that webbing or whatever it was. Hey, that cyborg, he ain't no joke, bro.
Agreed.
He is Terminator like esque.
Agreed. What about you,
see
Brian? What do you think?
See how he running on the four legs?
Yeah. I see it.
That's a problem.
Yeah, 100%. You know what? You have a good point on that. I think they always ran like that, though. I'd have to check, but it makes sense.
All except the Queen. All except the Queen. I think they did.
All except the Queen, right? Okay, yeah, because it does look kind of humanoid, but it could have came out of something else, Danny, right? Which would show us that then there's more than 3. You know what I mean? There's more than 3 xenomorphs out there, so they have to contain the xenomorphs on this ship and in this building, right? That's going to be the main point of this series, is that because if one of them gets out into Earth, it's over. It's over. You know what I mean? So they have to contain them in this situation. So I thought that was good, and I agree with you.
I don't think they got to contain the xenomorph as much, because they got to contain them eggs, because the xenomorph can't reproduce without the eggs.
Yeah, but the xenomorph lays the eggs, right?
No. Only the queen lays the egg.
You're right. You're right.
Then the face hugger comes out and lays the egg into the. If there's no eggs, then there's no threat, because xenomorph is vulnerable by guns.
Unfortunately, they already released the.
They got 7 eggs in there, so if they can contain them 7 eggs, they should be good, because the full adult xenomorph can't produce.
But that's the thing, though. That means there must be a queen, though, because something laid those eggs, right?
I think they took the eggs from wherever they came from.
From the queen.
They took the eggs from whatever deep space planet they got all them other 4 creatures from.
Because they're not going to introduce.
I don't think there's a queen on the ship. There is no way a queen's on the ship. So I think they went to the planet wherever they were, retrieved those eggs, that spider thing, that thing hanging up in the tree, or I think they went to those different parts of the galaxy or universe and got those things, and now they're coming back.
Yeah, makes sense. It makes sense, because you're right. If there was a queen on there, then there would be the queen that would have had to have laid the eggs, which means there's a queen running around there somewhere. Yeah,
it's just like Jurassic Park. They went, when they went to get that thing out of the nest, they eject the egg, not the actual pterodactyl. So I think they got the eggs to bring back, because it has the DNA. But there ain't no way they got a queen. I don't believe it.
No, I agree. No, I agree.
We would take over this planet easy.
Yeah. It makes more sense that they took the eggs from the planet. You know what I mean? Now,
but I'm trying to figure out, does the queen not need a male xenomorph to fertilize eggs? Or she does all that herself?
So they're all are servants of the queen. I think they probably do need a male to fertilize it.
So you imagine the king xenomorph?
The eggs. No, so the eggs just need the body, an incubator.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. It just needs once it's in the body, it's all over. The
queen lays the eggs, and then the face hugger lays
comes
the egg
out of
into
the
a human
eggs.
body, and then
Yeah. So here's a question though: is it possible that one of those eggs could be a queen?
that
Right?
may be possible.
You know what I mean? Like, cause if they, because we know from history, right? There's a queen, whatever. But is it possible for the queen to lay another queen for like when she dies? You know what
I
I
think
mean?
like if she, I think they probably can sense their death, then they may do something like that. But if it's a
Mhm.
healthy queen, I don't think the queen is laying another queen egg. I
I
think
got
like
you.
when it gets to the, I'm just assuming now. This is an assumption. I ain't read nothing, but like when the queen says, "Okay," I guess they can know whenever it's about that time. Then they'll go somewhere and then one of the eggs they'll lay, and that becomes a queen. I just don't think they're gonna. They're not gonna have two queens in the same.
It's like
Yeah, no,
ants.
I
In the same colony. That ain't
right.
gonna happen.
No, I agree with you 100%. Okay, so here's another question: is it possible that one of these could turn into a queen?
Probably if they're away from another one, and
Yeah, and there's no queen around.
there's no queen, then one probably could kind of do like that asexual thing, and
Yeah. What do you think, Brian? Think it's possible?
I don't believe any of those eggs are a queen. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think you only have so many queens. As one queen ages out, she gives birth to another queen, and that's kind of how it works. And each colony only has one queen for it overall. I believe if a queen even hits this planet, it takes over.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
But I think because we didn't hear about queens until Alien 3, that
Mhm.
it's just a little bit further along before we were to know anything about Queen.
yeah,
Yeah. No, I got you. I got you. And it just makes sense, like you guys said, that there is no queen. I'm just worried, or wondering if, like Donnie said, how does a queen become a queen, right? Does a queen lay the queen, or does one of the xenomorph can do the asexual thing and turn into a queen?
if it's the
That's
same thing,
interesting.
like the bees, they have that royal jelly or whatever, and if they feed whatever you call a thing, this the royal jelly, then that what makes the queen. If I remember correctly in school, that's what makes the larva a queen because it's
Hmm.
fed a certain the royal jelly, whatever, and then that what produces the sex for the queen because there's only one queen in a hive. So I'm
Yeah, yeah.
assuming if they go along those same principles, it's something similar. When the queen senses it's about her time to die, then I think she'll produce another queen egg. And knowing how sadistic these things are, the new queen probably killed the old queen to
Hmm.
establish her dominance.
I could see that. I can see that. Now we get the conversation that you like, Danny, where the millionaire, the trillionaire, he's
Yeah.
talking to Utani from Wayland. I think they are connected in this one, right? Because they call them Wayland Utani, right? So they
Yep.
already emerged.
Yeah.
Not this time, yes.
Yeah, so they're having the conversation, and she wants her ship back, and he's like, "Nope, we got to go see our lawyer to do that,"
Uh-huh.
But he ends up saying he wants what's
I
on
was
that
on
ship
that ship.
too, as well. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a war. Do you think Whalen is still going to send troops over there to try and get their stuff back, or you think
Oh
they're
yeah.
out of the picture?
100%.
Yeah.
I don't
This
even think
reminds
what.
this reminds me of that show we all like where the woman took like 35,000 people and hit them underground. This what this reminds me of.
Oh, Paradise.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He reminded me of the president, that little rich boy.
I could see that. I could see that.
I'm
So
not
now
even
we
sure
get.
that we're going to beat the xenomorphs. I think the other things the other 5 things might be natural predators. Not like the predator, but natural predators from that planet they're on. And they kind of balance out the whole thing. And we're going to get lucky.
I could see that. I
I'm
can see
curious to
that.
see that thing hanging. What the heck that is?
Me
It's
too.
probably a xenomorph killer.
Interesting. So, yeah, so they go through this now. It's good that I stopped on this because we see this huge egg. I don't think that's a xenomorph egg, is it?
I think it is. That's the egg that has the face huggers.
Is that the one? Is this the part where they get to the egg?
That's what it looked like to me.
Because I know. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it is.
You don't see that right there. I've
That's
never
a
seen that before.
problem.
I don't
Yeah.
know what that is.
Yeah, I can't wait to see something come out of that. Like we get to see one part where something comes out of it and it's following the synthetic, but
Yeah, like a xenomorph monkey or something.
Or what if it just like a fly trap, a Venus flytrap? It just comes and snatches it up and eats it and feeds off of the xenomorph.
Like that flower on Godzilla and King Kong.
Exactly.
The swallow that man.
That would be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But you see, at this point,
then how about if it produces like something like his version, a human version, or like a replicant or something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I was like a little bit more interested in the creatures that were on the ship, is because we've never seen anything like that, so we don't know. We don't know what that thing is gonna do, right?
I hope next video. I hope the next episode. I hope they'll show us the Asian lady talking, and then she's kind of giving us a little bit of background because she's seen something. She set that ship out there for some reason. So she must have. I don't know where she got it from or how she stumbled onto the evidence, but she sent it out there of deep exploration, so she knows what's going on. I'd be curious for them to show her and the black guy talking back and forth throughout the ship. If they do a flashback showing him on the planet where they get these things from, and he's texting her and saying, "Okay, we got specimen 1, we got specimen 2, I wish they'd do an episode kind of showing that and give us some background.
You know what? Now that you say that, because this is a prequel, I honestly think that we may get a lot of information as to why they're doing what they're doing, right? Why everything leads up to aliens and all of the other movies, you know?
You they're the key to being able to put a older mind into a hybrid.
Yeah, because we already seen it in Predator. Because you remember in the last Predator, what's called the Predator, I think was the last one.
The Predator, yeah.
Mm-hmm. When they were going, the Predators were going to different planets, getting the best of whatever prey they kill, and then putting it into it and doing genetic altering. Because I guarantee they're gonna do something similar to that. It's some kind of genetic manipulation. They take a part of this and a part of that and a part of this and add it all together to make the superior specimen or whatever.
Yeah, it's always been about the most superior killer, right?
Yep.
That's what they're trying to do, right? And that's where Prometheus and all of those prequels come from, where you see they made the xenomorph because whatever that android's name was had the god complex, you know what I mean? So he was doing the experiments, and because of him we got the early xenomorphs and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting to see if that's what Whalen was actually trying to do, Danny, to create the perfect killer. Because if you have the 5 factions that we have, then the one that has the best killer is going to be able to wipe out the rest of them.
But what do they need it for, though? What are they trying to accomplish by getting the perfect? I haven't seen what the prize is. I know the prize now is they're already a trillionaire, so I don't know what is beyond a trillionaire. I can't even imagine what that number would be.
They're a gazillionaire and they need to make more money.
Yeah, but what is the end goal? Is what
I think at this point, it comes down to power. Yeah,
isn't that what they said at the beginning? These 3 groups are vying for control now of the world,
of the Earth, of the galaxy, wasn't it?
Of the galaxy.
Yeah, of the galaxy. Yeah, absolutely. So it's power, you know. But I enjoyed seeing these creatures, and then we get to see. So this is what I found interesting too, right? Because when it drank its blood, you could see that it was like this big old blob full of blood. Yeah. And I'm asking myself now, is that going to mutate into something else because it has human blood in it now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm hoping for. Like, we get to see some of these creatures mutate, and we don't just fight xenomorphs. We got to fight these other mutated creatures as well.
We don't have to fight them at all. They just fight each other.
They fight each other.
This is their circle of life, whatever. This is what they do. They all fight each other.
Or they all fight each other.
And
They
they got
like
lucky.
suck his
by
face.
being
His face look different.
What's
He
that?
ain't got no blood left.
Yeah, it sucked all his
His
blood.
hat look different.
Yeah, it sucked all his blood out, like everything.
That's a
And
little
that's
worm
why-
thing, right?
Yeah, that was a little worm thing. And then we get
Did they show us how it look after it suck all the blood? 'Cause I didn't see that.
It's just a bag of all that blood.
Yeah,
right?
they did actually. And I know there's one scene where they actually, like right here, they show it a little bit. There.
Like a
There.
giant leech.
Exactly what it is.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I was saying maybe it morphs into something else, Danny, now that it has human blood in it like that, right? Which would make it a lot more interesting.
Make a copy of it, of the human.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, that would be tight. But then we get a little kitty cat.
Yeah, that right there. Wow, I hate cats now.
That
you look all
when I seen that, I was like, "Oh damn, oh the poor
run.
cat." Yeah,
Run.
you know.
It looked like that thing off the Zack Snyder zombie.
Facts. But then it busts out, and it pretty much attacks her. There we go.
Like
Pretty much attacks her.
We're trying to go for her eye.
Yep.
Exactly.
And I think sucks all their brain matter, and they learned from it.
Yep.
You think it would have been able to control her if it did do it?
Yep, for a little bit.
I think so too. Now, this is the part where I kind of like, because remember, they're hybrids, so they're supposed to be stronger, they're supposed to be faster. And again, this is where another scene where it's like she don't act like she knows this. You know what I mean? I'd have crushed that shit with my hand right away. I just crushed it. With my hand. Hopefully it died. If not, I would have tried something else. But it just seemed like they don't realize this at this point. That's where I have the problem with them being the age that they are. But
yeah,
you know, that's the only problem I have with that. You know? So, but yeah, it was definitely interesting. Then they put it into a thing and they're holding it there, and she finally gets upstairs. She meets up with her brother.
Are those scratches?
Hold on, let's get to the part where she meets her brother. Oh no, her brother first off meets. See, okay. Now, this is the part that I had an issue with. I had a real issue with this part because they knock on the door, and these people are still having a party, right? Now, I'm sorry, but if a spaceship crashes into a building, I don't care what floor you're on or what you are doing, you are going to know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but had some good, might have some good weed, bro.
Oh, if they did that, that's what I
good
want.
had to be to not know that you just crashed.
Fact. Well, if that's the case, then that's some of the weed that I want. Now, one thing that I did like too, and they showed it 2 times in this episode, is the way the alien was hiding in certain spots. Like I went back.
Like a piece of the machinery.
Yeah, it looked like a piece of the background. I said that is tight because when it first moved, I was like, "Oh, that's tight." And I think the first one was when they were on the ship, right? And they're talking, and you kind of see something like a tail move at first, and then they walk away, and then it turns and moves. And I was like, "Yo, that camouflage was nice."
What makes it look good? I think though that's not special effects. That's practical right there.
Exactly.
100%.
There's a suit.
Yeah, 100%. And it looked amazing, Danny. When that shit turned around and they showed that it was on there, I was like, "Oh, that was nice."
Use that old lava looking stuff. Yeah, it looks real.
Yeah, that was nice. Now this guy comes out finally, and the alien goes into that room, and bro, it wiped out everybody within seconds.
They deserved it.
Huh?
They all deserve it.
Oh yeah, 100%. They did. They should never been in there. You know what I mean? But I love the fact that they showed how ruthless and how quick it can kill human beings. Easy as that. You know what I mean? So I really enjoyed that. What do you think about this scene, Danny?
Crazy, man. Like like a buzzsaw, the Tasmanian devil.
What about you, Brian?
You deserve to die. You can't be
That like his
hurting
arm is
yourself.
off though.
It did look like it did. No, he was just in the blood of the cop there that got spread around. But yeah.
So my question is this on the ship or is this somewhere else?
Okay, so the ship crashed into a building and they're in the building now, right? Because remember, when he's on the stairway, they're going down. So they walk through the ship and then get to the other side and they're in the building. So it's pretty much merged with the building.
And now the xenomorph is no longer on the ship.
It's in the building. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that's correct. So you have to keep the xenomorph. I still think you have to keep the xenomorph contained in the ship or the building, right? You still can't let it get to Earth. But like you guys said, it can't grow eggs. But again, yeah. So now we get to where we go here after this. This is when she meets up with her brother, right?
Yep.
Oh no.
Oh, it's Morrow.
Yeah, he meets up with Morrow, and Morrow actually okay, so that was another dumb part I didn't like too, is that the alien could have killed him easily, but instead threw him against the wall like for plot point and shit. And I was just like, nah, I don't like that. I don't like that. But I get it. You can't kill him. You can't kill him. The brother, you can't kill him.
They killed everyone else in the room
except him.
No,
yeah,
we can't kill him.
Yeah. So I didn't like that part. But then Morrow comes in, he electrocutes it, it falls down, and then he puts it in like a cocoon type of thing. Now I'm sorry, but that cocoon thing was useless. It broke out of its nucleus.
Maybe it gets harder the longer you're in there.
I would hope so, or something, because it broke out so easy once it woke up. You know what I mean? And I'm like, he would have never got it to wherever he was trying to get it if it woke up so early and was easy to break out like that. Like he would never, because he feels
got a grill in his mouth, don't it?
Yeah. That's what I was saying too when I said it. The alien looked kind of robot-y.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like with the teeth and everything. So
like 2 chains right there.
Exactly. Now Morrow's just a dick because he shoots this guy, and again, he's killing everybody, but he lets this guy live, of course, right? Plot device. But I thought the cocoon stuff that he put it in was cool.
Yeah, it was.
I felt like it was useless though, Danny, because 2 scenes later, it rips it open.
What if that cocoon, the thing in the bag is supposed to feed on the xenomorph?
I didn't see it rip it off though. Where you saw that?
It comes up. They split open, then it comes up.
He puts the xenomorph in the bag, so to let one of the other things that have way more of a problem feed on it.
Oh, maybe. I just think he would have never got to where he was going to because of the way it gets out there. But we'll get to that soon. Because
I'm trying to figure out why they even need humans to go if this sucker. If they're seeing 10 of them bad boys right there, there shouldn't be no problem.
I agree. But I think they did it, Danny, because they bring humans because they want to face Cuggers to get on the human so that the xenomorph can come out. Humans are the sacrifice, I believe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Which would make sense. This part was tight. Did I pass it? Yeah. No, they didn't show it yet. Okay. So they find out that Curse sees these creatures. You see, that one right there. I think
it looked like the bag eating on something, right?
Yeah, like we didn't see that yet. You know what I mean? But he's pretty much plugs into the computer and he's looking at everything that they have, and then we find out that the eggs are there, right? Mm-hmm. So here's the scene I'm talking about. So he gets caught with these guys, they put him in jail, and then the xenomorph breaks out like right away. So that's like not even 5 minutes he had it in the bag before the xenomorph was able to break out. So where the fuck were you going with it? You know what I'm saying?
Unless you're feeding it to something, I don't know. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, like where were you going with it? What were you doing with it? Because it broke out easy. Like, so I don't know. It just seemed weird to me that happened. But yeah, of course, the xenomorph kills everybody, but it left him alone. Why do you think it did that?
Because he's a cyborg.
I don't see. I think they've never shown us this, but you know how the predators can see with heat and stuff, because you don't see any eyes on the xenomorph. So how are they maneuvering? They got some kind of radar or something.
Maybe it is.
So if you don't have a heart or something, then maybe he don't hear. We don't know how. I guess because they hadn't studied one, we don't know how they see or how they.
You know what, Donnie? Maybe you're right. Maybe it is movements because he doesn't move, right? He doesn't move. And I know Brian said he was maybe because he's an android, but we've seen them in the movies destroy the androids, right? We've seen them rip Bishop apart.
But because they're trying to fight them. But if you can imagine, you don't move, you don't have body heat, you don't have.
That's not true, because when we go back when he was in that room by himself, that thing was trying to come to the door to get him.
Came after him.
So that dispels that, because me remember the saliva dropped on his face, he kind of wiped it off.
Yep.
Yeah, but
so he was after him.
But he was moving the entire time.
That's what I was gonna say. The creature seen him move and jump into there. Right now, if
I
you
thought he
look
was
back
sitting
at this,
still in a chair. He was sitting still in the chair. That thing came by, and then it looked and saw him, and then that's when he was still working. Then he got up, and then the last second was about to break through. He said, "I need you to open up the spare room or something that we told the ship." And he dropped down into that little thing. So I don't think he was moving at first. He was just sitting there typing to.
And then you have to ask, and you're right. Then if you ask yourself a question, if it doesn't notice movement or notice only movements, then why didn't he just sit in the chair and didn't move from the chair?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So yeah,
something is off. I don't know what
because it's only part 2. We don't know yet. We'll find out more.
I wish they would show us how can these things sense us.
Yeah,
because it's kind of like if you watch what's the thing when it went under the ground on that movie?
Which one?
Remember the movie with Kevin Bacon?
Oh,
the guy
Tremors.
Yeah. After each Tremors, they start evolving. But the first one went by sound.
Yeah.
The second one, that thing went by heat. So they keep evolving, but we don't know how the xenomorph track us. They never showed us that. We can see firsthand the predators. If we hide ourselves with mud and they can't get a heat signature, then we can hide themselves. But they never showed us
how
xenomorph,
the alien she does it.
Yeah, you're right. Because even here, like it's like right beside him. You know what I mean? And he's not moving or nothing, and then it just ends up going away. So I hope they explain to us how the xenomorphs see. And it's like you said, this is before anything. So they can evolve into something else, right? Yeah, go ahead. See if you find it. Right? Now, maybe comic books or books will explain it a little bit more, but at the same time, right? They're evolving. They're always evolving. So this could be early xenomorphs to where it hasn't actually evolved into something more yet. So that's definitely a possibility. Now this scene
echolocation.
What's that?
They say the eyes are under the dome.
Interesting.
So they utilize echolocation, thermal reception, and pheromone detection all to locate the hunt and hunt prey. If they don't have any of those things, they won't be able to sense you.
Interesting. So maybe it didn't sense him. Maybe. I think we'll get a more explanation as to why it didn't, but we finally get to see this little Venus flytrap or something, and it spills out this vine, and the vine is like following him every movement he did, but he wasn't aggressive. It didn't attack him. So it's interesting to know if this is something that's supposed to fight the xenomorph, right? Or if it was just
or
like
feed off
biding
this
his
xenomorph.
time.
What? Because remember, it was in that stuff, right? What if it opened up and looked for it and then took the xenomorph and ate it and took it and ate it?
That would be interesting. But I hope we get to see more of that. I really want to see what that thing is and what it can do, right? Because if you remember in Prometheus, there was a part where they go into the cave and there's this little plant thing and he's looking at it and he's like, hey, and it took a while and then it wraps around his hand and starts to crush him, right? So maybe this thing was like biding its time and waiting. Or maybe it realized that's not a human, it's a synthoid. And if you get a human near it, it'll attack the human. So,
or more, maybe it's the first time they ever seen it.
Yeah. I like that, though. I like the fact that we have these other creatures and stuff like that. So then she finally meets her brother and they have a conversation and she's all happy. She wants him to come with him. The reunion was good. I enjoyed it. You know, I like the fact that she was happy to see her brother. Her brother didn't know. What do you guys think of the reunion?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Especially when he started asking those questions. She was answering the questions. I like that part of it. At first, he had some doubt and like, he said, well, what did I say this time and this time? So I thought that made sense.
And then he gave her a nice hug, like, oh my God, I missed you. You know what I mean? And you could see at the beginning where he's like, oh, you're a synthetic. He kind of kept his distance. And then now it's like when he found out it's his sister, he was like, okay. And he gave her a hug, you know? So
like
I thought that was good.
Like he had a prejudice against the synthetics.
Yeah, exactly. But she says,
in Romulus, it shows that the face huggers can detect heat signatures and when people match their body temperature to the environment, the creature can lose track of them. So it carries the overs, whatever that means. So I guess they track by heat as well too.
The face huggers do though, yeah.
The face huggers, yeah. Makes sense. And then we get to the big reveal that this ship has a bunch of eggs on it. And like Danny said, the only freaking human walks up to it and putting his face all up next to it and shit.
Like a dummy.
Bruh. So first off, if I seen anything like that, which is probably the first time he's ever seen anything like that, there is no way I am getting close to it.
The first thing
the
I'm
other
doing,
way. What do? You run the other way.
If I'm that stupid, I'm looking for a stick or something. Give myself
facts. But I don't think we're that stupid, Danny, because I ain't messing with nothing like that.
But you know look at it, be like, what is this? No.
Yeah. Did you guys think it was going to open up and jump on his face?
I did.
And
it start kind of shaking a little bit. I said, yeah, he about to get what he want, buddy.
I wasn't sure. I thought it would jump out, but she would have stopped it from grabbing onto his face.
She grabs it. Yeah,
or something like that. I thought that was going to happen, but unfortunately, or fortunately for him, it didn't.
That's plot device. They got to keep him alive.
Yeah, 100%. Now, what happens here? I think the xenomorph comes in. Is that what happened? Hold on. Let's see.
Looking for the eggs, right?
Yeah.
Call it in.
Looks like eggs.
Then, I think.
Yeah, xenomorph comes in and then jumps down, and then that's pretty much how the episode ends. But again, I love the way the xenomorph is hiding in certain spots. You know what I mean? And you don't see it until it actually moves. So I absolutely love that. I'm excited to see where they go from here, you know? And it seems like the xenomorph is protecting the eggs.
Exactly.
So maybe there is a queen. Maybe there is a queen in one of those eggs.
Or it's just their eggs.
I think it's just their natural
instinct
to protect the eggs and stuff, because they know that's how they reproduce. No eggs, then they don't reproduce.
I got you. I still think that one of those eggs is a queen, but that's just my opinion on that one. You know what I mean?
It could, but if they knew they're about queens, it wouldn't have been such a shock in the third Aliens movie.
If what?
If we knew about queens, because we didn't know anything about queens until the third Alien movie. So if they knew about Queens beforehand, this would have been something that they would have known when we got there, instead of being surprised by the third one.
No, I agree with
you. By the first
go ahead.
aliens, this is retconning because, God, what's her name?
Ripley.
Ripley was surprised by the first movie. They didn't know what it was. So how can this be before the first movie? They had no idea.
Ripley doesn't mean that she knew that they shared it.
No, I'm saying didn't the Space Marines go in the first one?
Yes.
Well, no. The first one they were
it's aliens.
The second one, the first one they were a mining group or something like that, and they happened to stumble across them. But I believe that the android knew what they were.
Mm-hmm. Lance Ertz, whatever his name was.
Yeah. I think the android knew what they were. And then started, relaying back to Wayland, and that's when they're like, we need these things to come, because the android ends up protecting the eggs, right?
Because Wayland was dying.
Yep.
Yes.
So he's trying to get that part of something, hoping to save his life or something.
Yes.
We saw that in the one with Sanaa Lathan. Well, he's still alive in that one too?
Yeah, because
I think he was. Yeah.
He was, yeah.
But the Wayland on Aliens was a Centaur, or the real one. The real Wayland
died in Prometheus, though.
No, the real Wayland was on the Sanaa Lathan trip. He died in the temple.
But what about the one in Prometheus, though? Right? There was, remember, it was Guy Pearce, I think, played him. And they brought him to the ship, the old man, and he tried to speak to the engineer, and it snapped his neck. Wasn't that Wayland?
Wayland died he died, because you remember when they went like Antarctica or whatever?
That's the third one, right?
He died in the Sanaa Lathan one, whatever, Alien versus Predator, if I'm not mistaken. That's when he died.
So this movie's in chronological order. Alien versus Predator is number 1. Alien versus Predator Requiem is number 2. Prometheus is the third one. Alien Covenant is 4. Alien Earth is 5th. Then Alien. Okay. Then Alien Romulus. Then Aliens.
So Alien versus Predator is before Prometheus?
Yep.
And both of the first two. That's when he died, because you remember the Predator did an x-ray of his body and saw the cancer and left him alone.
Yep.
And he picked up the gun and tried to shoot him. That's when the alien shot him.
Yeah,
but the Predator. That's how he's saying it's chronologically. That's not how it came out in the movies, but chronologically, that's the time.
That's how it's supposed to be.
That's
I know chronologically.
I think you're right that
Wayland
died in Prometheus.
Yes, Wayland dies in Prometheus though, because he goes on the trip with them, and he's the one who wants to speak to the.
Because it was in that secret room that they didn't know he was there.
Yeah, and then he goes to talk to the engineer, and he's like, I guess the meaning of life or something, and the engineer
to extend his lifespan, to extend his life. Yeah,
and the engineer snaps his neck.
Yep, that's what happened. That's right.
Hold on. Let's see.
Yes, Alien versus Predator, Wayland death scene.
It also says so. Unbeknownst to the crew of Prometheus, Wayland secretly stowed away aboard the vessel, planning to make contact with the engineers himself in order to in hopes that they will extend his lifespan. However, he is ultimately killed by the very race of people who he hoped would help him.
Well, Wayland must have died several times. I'm looking at it right here now. Wayland death scene in Alien versus Predator.
Yeah, but what?
You're right though.
Huh?
He must have died multiple times. I know he died in that movie.
Okay, so in Prometheus, his name is David Wayland. What's his first name in Alien versus Predator? Peter's different one. That's what I thought. It's a different Wayland.
Must be a son or or ancestor or somebody, because
It was Charles Bishop Whalen. He's the first one, and there's another Whalen after that.
Right. So there's three of them, right? There's
three of them.
Charles, like you said. Yeah. There's Charles, there's David, and then there's what's the other one Danny just said? Peter. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they're all wait, hold on. There's another one. There was one in the one where Sigourney Weaver dies.
Oh,
right.
There is another one.
At the end, they come in on the ship, and there's a whale in there.
Yeah, but that was a synthetic. That wasn't a human.
No, he was the original one. He was the original one, and the synthetics were based off of him. Hold on, I'm bringing it up, Danny.
All right, here I got it. So it says Charles Whalen originally formed Whalen Industries in the 2000s, where Peter Whalen was born in 1990. That would be 14 years. And would have thus been 14 years old when Charles Whalen died in 2004, and left the company any next of kin orphaned. Only 8 years later, Peter Whalen becomes of age and founds the new company Whalen. So all of them have been CEOs of Whalen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Charles is the kid, the father. Peter is the son, and then
David.
David is the son of Peter.
I got you. Makes sense, right? And okay, so what?
No. Wait, then. Come with us. Ashton, get her out of here. Wait, then. Now. Come on. Run!
That's when you
Back on me.
Mm-hmm.
Alien versus Predator, Prometheus.
Okay, so the one at the end of Alien 3, I think is Charles. It says, in the Alien universe, Charles Bishop Whalen, founder of Whalen Industry, dies in Alien versus Predator in 2024 movie, not in Alien 3. He is killed by the Predator's car within the Atari Pyramid in Antarctica. He is not killed by an alien or in the setting of Alien 3. In the film Prometheus, the character Peter Whalen, also played by Guy Pearce, is killed by the engineer. Okay, so I knew there was an alien
father's son.
Yeah. I knew there was a Whalen in Aliens 3 because remember at the end of that movie, after Sigourney Weaver dies, they come to the prison and there's a Whalen there, and he's like, "Oh, you look like the android," blah blah. And he's like, "Yeah, the androids were created off of me," or something like that. So yeah, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense. Well, we have made it to the end of these 2 episodes. It was great. There's going to be a lot of things going forward. Let's get your grades and your predictions going forward, Danny.
Oh, I definitely give this. I can't give it I'm gonna give it a B+ because of the first 30 minutes of the first episode. It was kind of, like Brian said, kind of hard, but after that, it definitely picked up. So I'm gonna give it a strong B+.
Excellent. Do you have any predictions?
I think that trillionaire boy is using them to see if he can break the code to actually extend his life.
Mm-hmm. Me too. 100%. What about you, Brian?
I believe first of all, I get the first episode a B-, and then the second episode a A-, which is a higher B overall for the first 2. I think that we're going to see Whalen and Yutani be the only 2 left because the little kid is going to be killed, and that's what's going to start all the entire thing going forward. And I do believe that little ball on the roof on the ceiling is going to be part of the thing that kind of kills the Xenomorph.
Ooh, interesting. All right. So I'm like you. I give it a B plus. I thought the first 30 minutes of episode 1 was a little bit hard to watch, but it does get better. And other than the little, and I'll call them nitpicks because there's certain things I didn't like, but a lot of movies do that stuff where party people don't hear what's going on, even though some crap is happening. So but yeah, I'll definitely give it a B plus and a B. It's good. It's not excellent like everybody says it is to me, but I think it has potential to definitely get better. So I'm excited to see where it goes forward from there. Danny, shout out to channel, sir. Let the people know where they can find you.
Road to Wisdoms, Mondays and Fridays at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, you can find me on Chaos Central channels, first 3 Mondays of the month, along with Nzo and Chris. Sometime on the OOC on Wednesdays, the Hangout on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. and the Storms Live on Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes. And I am Bigger Ford Entertainment. You guys know where to find me. We always up on here doing stuff, these breakdowns for the shows. Like I said, we got Twisted Metal on Tuesday. We're doing Alien, and then we'll probably be doing Peacemaker next week. So, yeah, make sure to check it out. It'll be an interesting time, a lot of good stuff going on, and we will be here to break them down and have a little bit of fun with the people that were here. Mr. Dub, thank you for popping in. Austinator, Cousin T, appreciate you guys. And we will see you on the next one. So, peace, love, and hair grease. We are outie. Peace.
How's our